This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right. So we got the game. The game is now saying he's throwing bras back when he rarely performs, which is shocking that I never see the game performing anymore. This guy has a big catalog. Like he does. Like he has like I'd say like 4 solid albums of material to perform. And he doesn't perform that much. I never see him outperforming. Or maybe they just don't show it. But anyways, girls throw bras up the stage. And he says, hey, I'm not into that tricking stuff. Really? Are you sure you're not into that tricking stuff? Because you did put up a tweet once that says, maybe I'm old school, but my woman ain't paying no bills, not rent, not mortgage, not a car note, not nails, not hair, not groceries. If you're taking care of home, cooking. See, that's fine. That goes without saying if you're going to be like that. You don't have to preach that, right? But someone that talks like that openly is usually a simp. Like he makes that clear from the get-go. The girl doesn't have to pay for anything because he's a trick. He is a trick. That's the funny thing. The game is a trick. It's hilarious. Post Malone hits 1 billion streams on White Iverson. That is a good song. I'm not gonna lie. I like that song. I like a couple Post Malone songs. Bobby Athoff says, working with Lil Yachty was so awkward. Lil Yachty was forced to do an interview with you through connections, right? Through whoever her manager is, they pulled a favor and they said, sure, sit down with her for an hour. She's like, I almost walked out and didn't do it because it was so awkward. Are you kidding? You're using hip hop to get relevant. You didn't pay any dues. You didn't do anything. I had to shoot videos in the beginning for low price. I had to start these little shows and just do grunt work. I had to do commercials for artist albums. I had to lie and say I worked at MTV to get behind the scenes of videos. We're talking when I was high school, college at that point, right? So the early 2000s. Then I had to start shooting some videos for free in the beginning, right? Just to get into it and learn it. Or at cost, whatever it cost me to go around in the subway and stuff like that. And then, me making $1,000 was a lot, to be honest. Back then, somehow I survived. I don't know how I did. I don't know. You just figure it out when you don't have a lot of money, So I just figured it out. But yet I had an expensive camera because I worked one summer to put money. It doesn't matter. I worked one summer to put money in a camera. I'm riding around the subway with a big camera. And I built my way up to where I started doing DVDs for artists. And then I did my own DVDs. And then me and Fendi teamed up and did the come up. And then so on, World Star, everything else. But it's a grind. Bobby Athoff's just plopped in the game, So if you don't pay dues and everything, you're not appreciating everything. It's just she just has one goal and it's money. There's not really any talent there. Awkward interviews came from Zach Galifianakis. I'll always say that. And Funny Marco kind of picked that style up, and he's actually better at it than she is because he understands the people he's interviewing. He asks great questions because he knows about them, so he can nitpick at certain things. Nicki Minaj, I would say that this is kind of directed at her or any other hip hop. She says, when you're a rapper, you know the history of the greats. When you're an internet personality, you do not. So if you knew the history of the very culture you're trying to penetrate, you'd be a goofy, sit your goofy ass down. It costs you nothing to be quiet. It's true. Before I even got into music videos, I would you used to be able to download music videos through LimeWire and stuff, and I would download. There was this guy named Dread something that would take all the music videos that ever came out and put them on these like servers. I used to watch all the old Run DMC videos and like LL Cool J in the beginning, and just like see the evolution, and like then Rakim. I used to watch all that stuff and just see how things evolved, because when I got into music videos, I was trying to bring it back to remember it was very polished when I got into it still, like people were like, you gotta have a film camera, you have this. I brought it back to just like doing it yourself, This is like 02, 03, The first video I ever shot was with Nonfiction and DJ Premier. First video ever. Then the second video was with Core Mega. We did like 3 videos. One never saw the light of day because it was so corny. That was my fault. I hired the worst breakdancers you could get to do the video. I tried to go cheap. I should have just paid Crazy Legs to find the best people, but we didn't have a budget for that. We tried to do 3 videos with a video budget for 1 video. Chief Keef reminds Drake to send his feature. It's probably vocals for Drake's album, to be honest with you. It's probably not for a feature. Akbar V defense decision to honor Nicki Minaj's new song. This is what you call gobbling. Akbar V just wants to make sure she's still cool with Nicki. So some people do that by kissing butt. There's nothing wrong. Nicki's very talented, and she is someone to look up to and someone to honor. But Akbar V does it in a way where it's like gobbling. Gobbler. Nicki Cobbler. Polo G shows off his new chain, aka a waste of money. Polo G should be enough seasoned. He's seasoned enough in the game to know that this stuff is a waste of cash. You would have been better off spending that money on an empty plot of land somewhere. Honestly, and not every empty plot of land is gonna get you money, but there are places where where you can buy land and just to have it and pay minimal taxes on it. It's worth way more than a chain. That's only worth the money that was put into making the chain. Christian rock. I notice was people see. If you have God in your heart, you believe in God, and you have morals and principles, you should always be like that, even keel one way. And she goes one way or the other. She's very dark and went one way, and then she goes. People that go back the other way, when the pendulum swings back the other way, they go heavy, overdoing it into religion. And those people are always a red flag to me, because it's like, wait a minute, First of all, this is something to be done all the time, not just when you're feeling like you're about to have a baby and you want to erase all your sins. Okay? You should always keep God in faith and hope and love in your heart. I mean, there's a lot more than just us, I don't care what religion you are. You should believe in a higher power, There is because they're 100 million% a higher power than us, okay? And you better respect it. So she donates a huge amount of money to the church and cries on stage. She's gonna crumble one day. It's sad to see, but it is what it is. You can't help somebody like that. TSR NFL running back Alex Collins passes away at 28. How? Jeez, that's so young, bro. Condolences to his family. He didn't really get to live life yet. Lotto accused of stealing Sexy Red's moves. Probably. Artists, when they get on, they get desperate. Jeezy gets on Rap Radar podcast, talks about street money is so much shorter than, legit money because you're always hiding it. It's hard to store at places. And then he tells a story. And it only goes as far as the dealership or this and that. You can't really have too many assets. It raises a red flag. But Jeezy also talks about when he used to keep money in his auntie's attic. And I guess her husband figured out a way to get in the safe. So 3 years later, he went back to get the money, and it was gone. And he wanted to go deal with him, but she said, let me deal with it, and she divorced him. And he said that was the realest thing she did. Kind of broke up the family by keeping your money. See, that's another thing about drug money. It breaks up families. It's too tempting. Let me read this thing about this woman that left ESPN. So she had a court case against them for their like protocols during the shutdown, and they offered her $500,000 to drop the suit. I forget her name. Wait, ESPN anchor leaves. She was there for like 15 years too. Sage Steele was her name. I don't watch a lot of ESPN, so but anyways, and former Barack Obama's racial identity has left what? Anyway, she's left the network. Departs after settling lawsuit. Their last offer was $500K. It was probably more than that. Probably, that's crazy. There's too many agendas at these like networks and everything. It's like it's such a weird time. Such division that we just ignore, you know. Trippie Redd, a love letter to you 5 on pace to sell 32K the first week. I don't even know if that's good. I don't think so. Wasn't he selling a lot more than that before? Him and like Tekashi are kind of like in the same boat. You know what it is? You know what it is? Wait a minute. Trippie. Let me look up something. Trippie Redd sales. Didn't he release something in 2021? 81,000. Okay. There wasn't a lot of push on this. I'm going to tell you, man. This is what happened. So he's on the same label as Ice Spice, 10K Projects. They're putting the whole building behind her. They're not really doing much with him anymore. That's how this game goes, man. Then we got Beyonce shouting out Lizzo again. Yeah, they're cool again, I guess. And then a YFN affiliate was poked up in jail. His name was CP3. He gets stabbed by alleged YSL members in Atlanta jail. That beef runs deep. I hope he's okay, man. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.